We have a number 9 problem. I think we have a number 9 problem. I think Macario is a very good player. She is not her strength should be at the 10. She's better at link play. She's not super good with her back to goal. She doesn't have explosive power to take on people individually. She doesn't have a ton of pace or speed. I think we need to drop her down lower as a number 10, and we need a number 9 in this country ASAP.
I totally disagree. I thought Macario balled out. She was my player of the friendlies. To me, she started this game where she left off the first one. Her hold-up play was good. She battled. She brought fight. It allowed Thompson. It allowed Cooper to get high and wide. I think there's still a lot of questions of chemistry around her because she is such a technical, tight player that allows everybody else to build up. But I like how she offers such a different wrinkle than what we see with Sophia Wilson or Lynn Williams. Yeah, she doesn't have the explosiveness to get in behind, which is what U.S. soccer's typically been the MO of that front line. But I just love that it's different. I love that it's something else when a team is challenging you. Great. Well, we have a great hold up player that will allow our wingers to kind of run free wherever they want. I mean, Alyssa Thompson was having her cake and eating it too.
That I agree with. She has a different player profile, but it's not for a number 9. We need more pace and speed up there.
Who do you want, McCall? Who do you want?
We don't have one. This is my concern. And if Hatch isn't getting minutes, I mean, she's a true number 9 for me. She's not good out on the wings. We have a lot of flank players. And so we need to culture somebody into that position if we're not going to have Sophia Wilson-Smith, if we're not going to have even a Swanson or, a Lynn Biondolo, someone that has that stature and that speed that can break away alone on their own.
I think you need to have both. You need to have someone like Hatch who can do that. I'm actually very disappointed that she didn't get minutes in this second game specifically. I think the game called for a player like Hatch at times to just get in behind, because the way that the U.S. was building up in both of these games against Brazil is they were almost creating like a box in the midfield with Alyssa Thompson, who was left on the left side wing, dropping and cutting inside a little bit more, which called for Catarina Macario to play a false 9 and to play back to goal so she could be an outlet and a bounce pass. That's how the opening goal came. It was a bounce pass play. It happened again 15 minutes in. Another time it happened. It was up until Brazil made those changes. 10 minutes left in the first half. That was where all the success was coming from. Alyssa Thompson down the left side and Catarina Macario being a false 10. Because if she stretched at that point, McCall, no one would have found her. She wouldn't have been able to help with the build out.
No, she needs to be a false 10. She can't be a straight 9. And can you imagine her against France, against all these other big, better teams? She's not going to ball out like she did today. That was a very young, raw Brazil today. And yes, she was able to show her expertise and her experience and her knowledge of the game. But I just don't think she's going to be pulling it off for us in a way in a major world tournament.
This is Kat you're talking, or Alyssa right now?
Macario.
Oh, I don't know. I think I actually genuinely, if we're really examining who could be the heir apparent to what was Triple Espresso, like I like seeing Kat and Alyssa playing together. I think that if you give them some time together to just like commingle and figure it out, it could actually really shape together.
Commingle.
Commingle. I don't think we're not going to find another Triple Espresso. Nothing comes close to that. It's finding difference. It's finding variety in it. And Kat gives us that variety because she is such a different forward. Than
not
Swanson,
another Triple
Rodman,
Espresso, but a equally good in a different way attack that you are like, yo, that's them. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to recreate what's already there. I don't think we'll ever get that back again the way that it is. I don't know that we'll get them back again,
if ever
as it is. So
now, if they're not there, Christine, Triple Espresso in whatever variety, all three of them at the same time hitting their form, right? Trinity Rodman is on essentially a lifetime of delayed play and slow to come back, minute restriction because of her back injury. Does the U.S. have to change entirely their style of play with different forwards?
I don't think they have to change their style of play entirely. I think that there's quality there that needs to be cultivated. So if we look back at the Olympics, right, and what Emma Hayes managed to do, basically sat on it and said, everybody sit in your pain cave and get this chemistry to come together as quickly as possible. And it worked, right? There needs to be another coming together like that. Like, I think Allie Sentner is really quality. I think having Kat back at full speed would be absolutely excellent. And we're seeing her come back into her own. Alyssa Thompson is young. And not that I ever underrated her, but I think that once she started to be productive in goal scoring for club the tail end of last season, I think we've seen an acceleration in her play, in her aptitude, in her intelligence, and everything. She's come a long way in a short amount of time, for me at least, where now I'm saying, oh, she's a starter. There was one touch she had in this game for such where I just said, oh my God, like it was so clean. And there's no hesitation. She'll move through a ball and just keep going. Like her movements are really smart. So I think that she's another asset. I think coming off the bench today, too, Yasmin Ryan, like there's a fire in her that you see that her movement, she's a little bit, she's not afraid to carve into spaces and pull back and just sort of reassess what's going on. I think we get somewhere with what we have, but it won't necessarily be the same product, but equally potent.
Yasmin
Yeah.
Ryan contributes when she's on the pitch. She is a spark. She's not a starter for
No.
me with this team.
Not yet.
I don't know
Then
if
when we look
ever.
at what Cooper, who's only had like five caps now.
Cooper to me has a rawness that comes with being young and
Mhm.
not having the experience of pressure that I think Yasmin Ryan has had where she's in her head. I think Cooper plays with this really, really beautiful freedom where I'm going to truck you and I'm going to make the game simple. I'm a winger. Whoever was in these positions is gone. I'm going to get end line. I'm going to create corners. I'm going to pick out crosses because that's what I've been working on. And I'm going to shoot my shot when I get chances. That's what you want to see in camp in
Like
these
her a lot.
moments. And then you use Emma Hayes to cultivate that into how are we making you unstoppable on this team and with club. She's like Play-Doh right now, but that's like just a muscle that is just waiting to be formed into this super key player that we see glimpses of, just not consistently yet.
There was
Yeah,
already
I think
growth from Cooper from camp 1 to camp 2,
100%.
match 1 against Brazil to match 2. And if you're coaching staff, if you're players, if you're her teammates, you are so excited to see that because not only is she hungry to learn and she is a sponge, actually soaking up the information and getting better, but who knows what her ceiling is at this point? Because if she has progressed this much in 3 months, imagine what can happen if she's consistently being given feedback, being put into systems that kind of cater to her skill sets that Cooper has and being supported with players around her that can contribute. I think her and Macario grew together during this camp a lot and they were able to go off of each other. They're fun to watch. Michelle Cooper is so fun.
Yes.
love
Fun
how
to watch.
she's
I
tough.
kind of like the
I love how
bruiser.
tough she is. Mhm.
Yes, I love the caliber of player and the difference that she brings. Like she has that root one mentality. Exactly. She wants to get forward. She wants to get end line and she's intimidating. We need more intimidating players. We are the USA. We used to have such that bravado about us that people were terrified to come play us. And we just went so hard and we got stuck in and we fought for everything. And she's going to continue to carry on that legacy for the US. And we just need more players with that physicality and that mentality for sure.